All right, this is a repair attempt. I got the claim number at 1183G462L. We're at 135 Thigpen Road in Newnan. This is the National Academy of Forensic Engineering repair method. All right, the shingle that has been prescribed by State Farm to be replaced and repaired. This shingle here marked by X. As you can see, wind damaged shingle that's creased, mat broken. I've marked out the entire shingle here in blue. I've marked where potential nail holes will be. I won't know exactly until I break the seal here. I've outlined all the shingles and labeled all of them that are surrounding it. Shingles 1 and 2 directly below it. Shingles 3 and 4 directly beside it. Shingles 5 and 6 directly above it. And directly above that, shingle 7. The first thing I'm gonna do is talk about the tools I'm using. Here's an approved 3-tab tool. There's a roof snake and a roofing hammer. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break the seal on this shingle X to go ahead and get it free. All right, now on shingle 5, I'm going to break the seal here. That way I can get to the nails. And on shingle 6, gotta do the same thing. All right, and shingle 7, break these as well. All right, now I've got all these loose. I can find my nails. Okay, so I'm gonna come up underneath this side, and I've already located a nail here. And I'm never gonna bring these up over 45 degrees, just enough to where I can see where the nail's at and be able to remove the nail. I'm gonna come up underneath my shingle. As I locate my nail, I'm right up underneath it here and attempt to pull that nail out. All right, you zoom in on that. Can you see that right there? So as I'm attempting to get the nail out, the shingle has ripped and torn right around it. And you can see where this is coming around is tearing. So I'm gonna try to jam my, yeah, there it goes. All right, so it just ripped right through it. That's called a nail pull. Now I did it as easily as I possibly could, and then attempt to push the roof snake underneath it to get that nail. I had to use a little bit of force to get it. And when I did that, it did rip and tear. Now we are trying to replace shingle X, so I'm not too worried about the damage on this shingle. This just goes to the repairability of the rest of these shingles. It's already showing how brittle it is, just an attempt to remove that nail. All right, so here's another nail here. So I'm gonna come up underneath shingle X, and as you see, you can listen, I am hitting the nail, right? So now I'm hitting the nail, I'm gonna attempt to pry it up. And as I do it, you can see where it's already ripped through, right there. So I can't come through the top to get the nail, I have to come in this side. So I'm gonna attempt to go a little bit of an angle to try to get that nail up. And as you can see, it's ripping, it's already ripped. Right there, see, and as easily as I possibly could, trying to get that nail out without ripping the shingle, I cannot do it. The shingle, they're just too brittle to be manipulated in a way to get the nails out. So now I gotta come underneath and pull the nail out because it ripped through the shingle. That's called a nail pull. And the National Academy of Forensic Engineering does consider nail pull a repairability issue. So this shingle was already showing signs of the irreparability of this roofing system. So I have several nails right here, so I'm gonna come up underneath this one and do the exact same thing. As you see, I'm hitting the nail and I'm attempting to pry it up. And look, as I pried it up, it ripped it right through. And that is nothing that I can do easier or show less. I can't. I'm doing as easy as I possibly can. And the nail right above that one, I'm gonna attempt to do the exact same thing. And there it goes, it ripped right through again. So I'm gonna come up underneath here and lift them up a little bit and attempt to pull that nail out from underneath to get it. And so far, every nail has ripped through the shingle, every single one of them. So that's proving the irreparability of the roof already. And before I even get to this one, just from manipulating it here, it ripped through. And I'm never lifting this up over 45 degrees, just enough to look at it. So as you can see, just from trying to pull out the other nail, this one ripped right through, showing the brittleness of these shingles. So from here, pull that nail out. All right, so that's the first row of nails that's been removed. Now I'm gonna attempt to remove the second row of nails right above it. I'm gonna lift shingle 7 and locate my nail, and here we go. I have a nail right here. So I'm gonna come up underneath shingle 5. Lift this up a little bit so we can see. And I'm touching the nail right here, right? You can hear it hit. And as it's hitting, I'm gonna attempt to pry that up, right? Without doing anything other than it. And look, there it is. It ripped right through. So that's shingle 5. We just damaged that shingle. Now shingle X, I gotta come underneath here. So shingle X, I wasn't too worried about any of that happening to, just because we're trying to replace it. But now we've created additional damages to additional shingles. We just created a nail pool on shingle 5, which was meant to not be replaced. So now I have one nail pool. I'm gonna attempt to find another nail. I have another one right here. So I'm gonna come up underneath shingle 5, ever so slightly. And here I am, I'm touching the nail. You can hear it hit it. So I'm gonna carefully as I can, and it's already ripped through. There's nothing I can do about it. All right, so zoom in on that, Denny. And as you can see, that's pulled straight through. Now I got a big nail head hole in the shingle that I'm supposed to be trying to not replace. So now I gotta come up underneath shingle 5 and pull that nail out, and it's supposed to be holding it down. And the reason why that is a failure is because now how do I hold the shingle down if I've got a giant hole in it, right? So now what am I supposed to do? Put another nail here and then put another one beside it and then try to reseal it? That's not a proper way, and this shingle is so damaged now. It's just too brittle to be replaced. So I'm gonna continue with the repair, knowing that we already have several failure points. All right, never lifting them up over 45 degrees, always just enough to see. And here I've located another nail. I'm gonna come up underneath shingle 5, attempt to do it again. And it's literally just ripped without me using hardly any effort. And if you show that real quick, zoom in on that one. And you can see where it's starting to rip, and hasn't all the way ripped yet, but just showing that I cannot get up underneath that nail without damaging that shingle, right? As I pry it, yep, see, it just ripped right through. So now I can get up underneath it and pull it out. And here's my nail. All right, so shingle 5 has taken damage. So now we're gonna go right above shingle X here and look for another nail. And I don't see any underneath this side, so let's see if that removes the shingle. See all the nails out. There we go. All right, so we're able to remove shingle X. All right, I'm gonna flip it over. This is a Tamco Tuscaloosa. It's a 3-tab shingle. You can see the matting crease right here from the wind damage. All right, so what we're gonna do is, look right here. If you zoom in right here, these are the shingles that I had to break free. You can see how there's these black spots. That's all mat transfer. All of this is mat transfer from the shingle below it to the shingle above it, which is this shingle. And if you look at the damaged shingle, there's no mat transfer here, right? So now if you come over here, the shingle I had to break free again, there's more mat transfer. All the roughness right here is part of the shingle below it, still staying attached to the shingle above it. That's showing mat transfer, which is another National Academy of Forensic Engineering repair failure. Now, according to state code, I cannot leave this roof doing a repair in worse condition than when I found it. So, having said that, we have created damage to shingles 5 by ripping through nail holes here, here, and here. All right, so that's additional damages outside of this one shingle attempting to repair. So I'm gonna come over, I got my shingle here. Now it's the best guess that I could find, since Tamco Tuscaloosa brand 3-tab is no longer currently in production, that makes this color, right? So this is a multicolored shingle. As you can see, you got some dark, some light grays in it. So this is a little bit different than what I have here. So I can't find this exact color without sending it off and to get an exact match. But now we do know it's a Tamco Tuscaloosa, so I'll be able to reach out to Tamco and see if they still manufacture this multicolored 3-tab shingle, just to attempt if this roof is repairable, right? And so far, I've created more damage to this roof than I've repaired. So I'm gonna get my shingle in here, right where it needs to go. All right. Now I'm gonna use the roof snake, the approved tool to install nails. All right, so I'm gonna stick the nail in. Come right here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift shingle 6 just enough to get this nail in here. Very carefully. See here. All right. Set on top. And do it again. Okay, got that one in. So straight. And nail in here. Make sure it's nice and flush. And again, never lifting the shingles up over 45 degrees. Got the first row nailed in. Now I'm gonna go to the top row. Now this is where I'm gonna have issues. Now knowing that shingle, what is this? Shingle 6, 5, and 6 here, I've ripped through right here. So now I have a giant hole. So if I were to nail this in, it'll hold this shingle down, but now shingle 5 has got a big hole in it. So now I'm gonna have to add an additional nail to this, and then potentially water, wind blown debris and water can come in here and get into that giant hole. The nail is no longer going to seal anymore on that. And since we have a fair amount of mat transfer right here, if you can zoom in right here, Danny, and show this little piece, the stuff sticking off right here that I'm moving and taking off, that is mat and glue from the shingle above it, still staying attached to the shingle above it. Now I have that in multiple areas under these shingles. Now I'm gonna take close up, come here Danny, zoom in on this right here. So you can see the matting. Now what that is, that's part of this shingle above it, this tab, stayed attached to the shingle below it. So that's another indication of damages to these shingles. So I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna have to put multiple nails in here now in order to hold this shingle down. And even then, it's still not going to be a proper repair because I have multiple nail holes that rip through that shingle. Over here, I'm gonna go right above, using the roof snake as it's been designed to use. And as you can see, I'm gonna put a nail right where that big hole is, just to fill that hole up. You see, it just went right through because, okay. The nail pulled right back out because it's the exact same hole. Can't put a nail back into the same hole in the plywood, it won't hold anything anymore. So now I have to find another spot because that nail just pulled straight out of that hole, so it's not gonna hold anything. So now I'm gonna have to move over to get a clean spot in the plywood. Yeah, see that? Now that holds. Make sure the nail's flush. So now what do I do with this hole? Right? It's never gonna seal. This shingle's not gonna seal back down to seal this hole from ever leaking again. So this nail presses on the mat and squeezes it to where now it's watertight, right? It don't allow water to get in. Now I've got a big gaping hole right here where the nail ripped through. I can't put another nail back in there because it won't hold. You just seen that. The hole's already in the plywood in that spot. So now I'm gonna have to find another spot. So I did here. So now I'm left with a hole. So shingle 5 is damaged to where I now have to replace shingle 5 in order to do a correct repair. So as state mandated, state code tells me I cannot do a repair to this roof that leaves it in worse condition than when I found it. And this right here, shingle 5 is now damaged and is now in worse condition than when I found it, just by attempting to pull the nails out. And as you could tell, I was using the correct tools. I was going as easily as I possibly could, and the nails are ripping right through it, showing the irreparability and the condition of this roofing system. I'm gonna continue putting these nails in. That way, something's at least gonna hold this shingle on, and then I'm gonna have to tarp this. That way I know that this roof's not going to leak. Because as of right now, I cannot guarantee this roof's not going to leak because of these additional holes I'm having to put in these shingles. Shingles are not meant to have open holes and gaps like that. And if I try to fill this in, it's not going to do anything. Literally, I can put the whole head of the nail in upside down, right? So that means that no matter what, it's going to cause an issue, right? It's not going to be a watertight system as designed by the manufacturer. All right. Another nail over here. All right, so now the nails. All right, so now we're gonna hope that these shingles reseal. With all this mat transfer, I highly doubt these shingles will ever reseal again because part of this shingle is stuck to the top of this one or to the bottom of this one. So these shingles are not going to reseal like they should. So they will always be loose now. Shingle 5 will probably reseal to it because this is a new shingle with a new glue strip underneath it. So look, it's already starting to seal down, right? So this right here, these will never seal again. The amount of mat transfer that came off of this shingle is now stuck here. Will never allow it to reseal. So now we've created additional damages to shingles 5 and shingle 6. So shingle 6, what I mean by that is the mat transfer on it. They're still stuck to here, so it's not going to seal down again. Same thing with the shingle 7. It's the exact same thing because I've got more mat transfer and that's pieces of this shingle is still attached up here. So it's never going to reseal again like it should, all right? And not to mention, as I was doing this, I don't know if you could tell, but you can see all the granules that have fallen off here. And this is not from, look, as I brush them off, barely brushing them, you can see the granules falling off of these shingles, right? Look at all that. Now this is a brand new shingle right here. I can rub this one all day long. I'm not getting no granule loss, nothing. But as I've manipulated these shingles and as I've nailed on this roof, you can see all the granules falling off. This is I barely brush them right onto the new shingle. That way they're very clear and visible. These granules would not be missing from these shingles if I did not attempt to manipulate these. This is further proof that this roof is in a non-repairable condition. Not to mention where I've had to move this one up and down and attempt to re-nail it. Matter of fact, I got to add one more nail right here. And I want you to pay attention to when I nail this in. There's another situation, right? So that nail pulled through. So now I'm having to find another hole, make another hole in this shingle just to hold shingle 5 down, right? And as I hit this, you can see all the granules bouncing around and falling off, right? That is a direct result of the manipulation of these shingles. Now, if they were in still good condition, just like the shingle we installed, we can manipulate these up and down, back and forth, over 45 degrees, no granule loss, no issues with these shingles because this is a brand new shingle. It's still in a repairable condition. The roof system itself, these are not brand new shingles. These shingles are over 10 years old and they're not in a repairable condition anymore. Therefore, this is going to be a failed repair attempt for several points. And the next photos that you'll get will be me pointing at each individual issue that we found while doing this. So this is going to be a failed repair attempt.